Hello everybody, Shinjo here, welcome back to the channel. And the initial plan was I was going to do a ranking of all of the ZA Megas. But unfortunately my audio cut out not even halfway through the recording. I'm still trying to figure it out now. But instead what I did is I saved the tier list. I'll show that off at the end of the video. And I'm going to be showing you my 10 favorite Megas. What I basically did is took the top 10 from S and A tier and put them in a tier list. There was a little bit of organizing that I did after reconsideration, but essentially the tier list and the top 10 are almost similar. I figured that it's a nice compromise because I wanted to do the tier list, but my recording software said no. But let's start in with the top 10, and at number 10 is Mega Staraptor. I will say I haven't played the DLC at all, so I have no connection as far as gameplay, but I really like Staraptor anyway. I'm a huge fan of Sinnoh. The fact that they changed Staraptor's typing to make it the same as Pokemon like Flamigo and Hawlucha is really cool. I just like how primal it looks, honestly. It's funny considering Scarlet and Violet just came out with it being about past and future, but Staraptor looks really cool, and he already looked cool before, but I love him even more. At number 9 is Mega Delphox. Now, I will say Delphox is my favorite of the Kalos Megas. It's unfortunate because I do like Chestnut, but he was just outside of the top 10. And Greninja, if you like Basic Greninja, you're gonna like Mega Greninja. But Delphox, I like how it's standing on the broom, and I like how it's using its other fire wands as attacking weapons. It's just really cool, and it really adds to the Magician aesthetic. It's not much difference overall. It's just a little bit of a color swap and a little bit more hair, but I really like it. At number 8 is Mega Clefable. Now, Clefable is a mon that I never really thought about before, especially since Jigglypuff is in the same generation, but I really do like Mega Clefable. I like how they added some French influence to it, which is something that I never really would have thought of. And I love how the little wings on his back actually grow into full-on giant wings that he flies around with. So the added flying typing honestly doesn't hurt. Although it is comical that Clefable started as a normal type and completely changed its type over the years. At number 7 is Mega Dragonite. And I feel like Dragonite has an edge over other Pokemon because it's one of the first Megas that was introduced. But I've always liked Dragonite to begin with, so having a Mega that really incorporates the wings and the aesthetics of Dragonair doesn't hurt either. At the same time, he's one of the few new Megas that was shown off in Horizons, so I feel like that definitely has a hand in it. The one thing is that I wish that it was a Fairy type as well as a Dragon type, but I can't really be too upset that it's still Dragon flying. At number 6 is Phalanx. Now, ever since Phalanx was introduced, I've loved the little guy. I love how it's just an army of soldiers just walking together in unison and helping and supporting each other. So now the fact that they just combined together and formed some giant transformer looking thing is really cool. I love how one of them transforms into a shield and one transforms into a sword of some kind. I just really like it. Plus the little one in the middle that's trying to support everything is just really cool. And the two at the bottom acting as his legs just have no care in the world. Overall, really solid design. At number 5 is Mega Meganium. Now, I didn't pick Chikorita when I started ZA. My actual pick was Totodile because it's my favorite of the Johto trio and my favorite of the ZA trio. But I just can't overlook Mega Meganium. It just looks really adorable. And again, it's like other Pokemon like Phalanx and Dragonite, where it's just more of what the Pokemon was already. And while I'm sure a lot of people will be turned off by the giant flower neck that Meganium has, I really don't mind it. I have a soft spot for the whole Chikorita line because It was just always around in the anime. It was always around in my childhood. And I just really like it. Granted, it's not much of a change from regular Meganium, but I just really enjoy it. And I love that it finally got a fairy typing. But at number 4, we have Mega Emboar. Now, again, I didn't pick Emboar as my starter. Honestly, I kind of wish that I would because I really like how Mega Emboar looks. But either way, it's just really sick. I'm sure you can make the case it could change its typing. I've been talking about changing typings a lot today. I don't mind that it keeps its typing of firefighting. I just really like that it really played into the aesthetic of him being a warlord, him having a staff, all the decorations and stuff. It's really cool. Because Emboar was a mon that I thought about, but never really gave much attention because I just didn't really care for it. But I don't think I was one of those people that really bashed on it because it's the third firefighting starter in a row. But overall, all I can say, the fire type starters really hit hard in ZA. At number 3 is Mega Excadrill. So if you watched my first video where I talked about my 5 favorite Megas from ZA, you'll remember that Excadrill was definitely up there. I'm half and half on whether the big drill hands are goofy or not. I don't really mind it. I just like how it can all combine together to form one giant drill. And again, like I mentioned with Meganium, Excadrill was always around in the anime. Iris had one from a very early part in the show. Clay had one. So now seeing Excadrill finally get the respect that he deserves and get a Mega as cool as this, definitely worth it. At number 2 is my favorite Mega pre-DLC, Mega Hawlucha. I said this before, it looks really cool. I noticed that I'm a really big fan of fighting type Pokemon, but it's weird because a lot of people could probably make the case that you like Hawlucha, you must be a fan of wrestling because that's part of Hawlucha's inspiration. But I'm not really a huge fan of wrestling. I just like how its Mega is basically just a little bit of extra detail and then a mask. I really like that. And again, Ash had a Hawlucha from a very early point in the anime. B had a Hawlucha. Hawlucha's always been around. I really like Hawlucha. I think it may be my favorite Kalos Pokemon in general, so the fact that it got a Mega is definitely worth it to me. But at number 1 is my absolute favorite Mega, Mega Golurk. I've always liked Golurk. I love that it's a giant robot. I like how it has the power inside it, but now with its Mega Evolution, it bursts forth and grows butterfly wings of some kind. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but Golurk is sick. I love Golurk. It's weird because you can make the case that Golurk could be a fighting type as well, but he is ground and ghost, which I do still think is a really sick typing as well. But I love blue, the color. I love the yellow accents on it, and even the purple wings just add a nice little touch of flair. Again, I feel like Golurk is my favorite Unova Pokemon, although that's a hard case to make because there are a lot of Pokemon from Unova that I really enjoy. I think for the moment, Golurk's going to be my new favorite Mega, and I'm glad that I waited because now my favorite Mega from post-DLC is different from pre-DLC. But like I said before, here is what my tier list looked like. I don't know how accurate it was. I think what I did is just push Froslass back and include Staraptor because while I can make the case that I really like Froslass, I just love Staraptor even more. But yeah, this is what my tier list looked like. I'll keep it up for a little bit longer in case you need... Well, I guess you can just pause it otherwise. But yeah, this is the tier list that I made. I'm really happy with it. If you have any comments on the tier list or my top 10 or whatever it may be, leave it down in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite Mega was from Legends ZA. And if you didn't play the DLC, you can do either way. If you want to talk about just your favorite from the base game or the DLC, either one's fine by me. But if you enjoyed, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Momentai.